This Rev 3 Games episode is brought to you by Ting, mobile that makes sense. Hey guys, Tara here for Rev 3 Games, and I am joined today by Alex Hutchinson. He is the creative director of Far Cry 4, which we just got to play a huge chunk of. Very, very different from Far Cry 3, at least in terms of setting. We are now not on an island anymore. We are in a crazy mountain in the Himalayas. And it seems like, aside from the story and how that weaves into it, how is the gameplay going to be different because of this setting?
Yeah, so there's lots of different environments. Like you said, the core map is Kirat, which is a combination of sort of the Himalayas and Nepal and sort of various places in that region. What it meant is we've got a much more vertical landscape. So we have a lot more tools like gyrocopters where you can fly around, little one-man helicopters, or the grapple to pull yourself up cliffs and sort of rock climbing environments, which means that the whole map feels different. You have to tackle it differently. Hopefully you have different opportunities and of course different stories to tell your friends.
Mm-hmm. So with the grappling hook, are you going to be able to, I guess I should say, is that sort of specific to certain areas, or are you going to be able to really just kind of scale any mountain that you want?
Yeah, originally we toyed with the idea of making it fully systemic, and that any rock you could attach it to, but it becomes a little bit confusing and far too easy to sort of break the world.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's set points that you can grapple up, so we can build challenges and sort of fun paths through things. But that said, they're liberally spread everywhere, so you shouldn't be without a grapple point if you're looking for one.
Let's talk about animals, because this is, whenever we do a Far Cry video, people are like, what animals are going to be in this game? And you guys, in one of the first trailers that you showed off, famous goat versus eagle, eagle picking up the goat, and they actually showed us a real live video today of this happening, so
Research.
It is possible to happen. What other animals are going to be in the game that we haven't seen in a trailer yet? Because we've seen tigers, we've seen eagles, we've seen goats, we've seen yaks.
There's lots of stuff. There's like everything from like wild boar to the alligators are back, those sorts of things. So they're probably the only one that people haven't picked up on yet that's sort of super weird is the honey badger. The honey badger is is making a cameo. So a very dangerous animal. The honey
I wouldn't
badger.
have thought so at all, actually.
No, don't Google it. Don't Google it.
Let's talk about co-op for a second, because this is brand new to the series. You guys have said that it's sort of exclusive to the non-narrative content. How is that going to work? For instance, if you were taking down a fortress with 2 or 3 of your friends, does the difficulty scale up the more people you have, or is it kind of the same either way?
Yeah, so the first thing is, for co-op for us, we really like this idea of it being you and your best friend. So it maxes out at 2. We're only allowing 2 people in the environment, so you get to invite 1 person into your world.
Okay.
And so we only had to deal with the difficulty of that in terms of challenge for the player. So yes, it will be slightly harder if you invite your friend in there. But what we're trying to get is that sense of different combinatorics of planning. You know what I mean? So you could be riding an elephant while I come in on the gyrocopter. We could both be on the gyrocopter. We could both be crawling through the reeds. You could be covering me with your sniper rifle while I drive in on a truck. So all those different sorts of stories is what we were aiming for.
And is each of the fortresses in the game going to have that availability of options to it? Will you always be able to ride an elephant into a fortress, or are there specific methods for certain fortresses?
Well, there's different setups, obviously. So there's different, some things might be more or less appropriate depending on the scene, and other sort of tools and toys might be more available depending on the fortress or the scene that you're attacking. But it's open world, so if you want to ride an elephant all the way from another part of the map and bring it in, we don't stop you doing it. So you can, hopefully again, we're watching YouTube or wherever after the game releases, and people are surprising us.
Well, I'm sure you guys aren't allowed to talk about this yet, but since you're adding co-op, I'm curious if that is been added in lieu of some kind of multiplayer or in addition to.
We definitely have multiplayer coming back, and it's really exciting, and we're looking forward to talking about it. But yes, you are very correct. We're trying to just hold that one out a little bit longer, so in the next couple of weeks.
All right, good enough for me. Thank you so much, Alex Hutchinson.
Thank you so much, I appreciate it.
Are you sick of being bossed around by your cell phone carrier? Are you paying tons of money for data you don't even use? then it's time to switch to Ting. Ting is a revolutionary new cell phone service that puts the power back in your hands with complete and total transparency. With Ting, you only pay for the data and minutes you use, meaning there are no plans, no hidden charges, and no early termination fees. You know exactly what you're paying for, and you can leave whenever you want. Ting runs on the nationwide Sprint network, and there's a good chance it already works with your existing cell phone. Their customer service is also top-notch, so no matter what time of day you call, you'll always be able to reach an actual live person. Head over to rev3games.ting.com and click on their savings calculator to see how much money Ting can save you. That URL also gets you $25 off your first bill, and remember, every sign-up helps support Rev3 Games, so really, it's a no-brainer.
So I got to spend time with two different weapon combinations in Bloodborne. The first one, and the one I spent the most time with, was a saw/blunderbuss combo. So what that is in one hand, the right hand, I have a saw that I could retract or lengthen by hitting L1 that sort of worked as a short sword, a very traditional like melee weapon in classic Souls style, but I could basically make it